In the spirit of May the 4th, I'll be covering Star Wars. Well, specifically the Jedi and the Sith's powers and abilities, including their weapons. Hi, my name is Jason Roy. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll make more videos. First up, their weapons. The Jedi are essentially have lightsabers. Basically, they're like a sword made out of light that can come out of their gadgets. Basically, the is every Jedi and every Sith has a lightsaber, but the lightsabers can be customized to match personally with the Sith. This is demonstrated perfectly during Star Wars Rebels when the Inquisitor specializes his lightsaber so that it not only has two blades but can swing around like a saw, and Ezra turns his lightsaber into a part lightsaber, part blaster. All Jedi have access to this energy that flows around through everything called the Force. While using the Force, the Jedi can have precognition, senses, Force images, Force projection, Force healing, Force lightning, Force push, Force pull, Force echo, and Force sight. Those Jedi who have a strong connection with the Force will be better and stronger at using Force techniques. Essentially, there are two sides to the Force. There is the light side and there is the dark side. The dark side has its own set of Force abilities and powers, and as well as the light side. I'll start with the dark side first. The Sith, also known as the Force wielders of the dark side, can use Force lightning. They can do Force push and pull, and their powers are basically tied to their emotions, which means the more negative emotions they feel, the stronger their abilities will become. Light Force wielders can be tempted towards the dark side, and that's how Jedis become corrupted and join the Sith. Ezra Bridger from Star Wars Rebels is the best example of a Jedi who can tap into the dark side without completely turning. Now, Ezra got his hands on a dark, you know the holocubes that Jedi have that teaches other Jedis. He got one, but for the Sith, and he was listening to it and learning from it, and that's what accelerated his Jedi training. Now, the only side effect of him doing this was he was tempted by the dark side. Not as much as other Force wielders, though. He would basically sometimes get a little too angry, get a little too greedy. It would just make some normal, everyday, average emotions just a little bit stronger. Now for the Jedi. Unlike the Sith, they cannot use Force lightning, but the Jedi don't get raw power like the Sith do. But Jedi, they have a stronger sentimental attachment to the Force, meaning that they can strongly connect with the Force. Meaning they can sense things, they can track people, they can make Force projections, they can bring objects to them as long as they've been in contact with them before. They can track people using objects that they have sentimental attachment to, and etc. So another power of being a dark Force user, aka a Sith, is that when you're a Sith, you're practically a lot stronger than the Jedi. Now, the Jedi have years and years and years of training, but the Sith, they, from their negative emotions, become better. Well, they have more raw power than Jedis do. Jedi are generally seen as the good guys in Star Wars, but sometimes the Sith may be perceived as the bad guy, but they're trying to do good things. They're just going about it the wrong way, or they're a good person who have been corrupted by the dark side. For example, we have Darth Vader. He was a good person. Well, I mean, he killed hundreds of thousands of people, but Luke could sense the good in him and helped him become a better person. As for Anakin, he is a good person, but he fell to the dark side. When a Jedi falls, they become the Sith. They go on to the dark side. Their dark emotions, the worst parts of them get brought out and heightened to an extent. They feel hatred, anger, disgust, greed, envy, all the worst emotions that they have get put into overdrive, and that's what warps their perspective of everything else around them. Now, there could just be bad people who fell to the dark side. Well, no, not fell to the dark side, embraced the dark side. But as for Anakin, he was a good person who fell to the dark side. His darkest emotions were brought out, even though he's still a good person, and that is what happened. Here's a trick that both Jedi and the Sith do together. So the Sith and the Jedi have one thing in common, and I would say that is their idealism, that they can change the world, do something with it. And they also do have another thing in common. They fight similarly. They both incorporate their weapons into their fighting using the Force, often mashing it up with their lightsaber or doing martial arts along with it. Alright, that's the end of the video. Please make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this content, and maybe I'll post more. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and may the 4th be with you.